Hi there, my name is Paul Moses and welcome to handsfree.com. Thank you for watching this video on 21 ways to monetize your webinar. Now, just to bear it, I'm just going to let you know this will be a two-part video. So today we'll be covering tips 1 to 10, and the following week I'll be putting out there the second part, which we obviously be covering tips 11 to 21. So without further ado, let me just introduce myself. My name is Paul Moses. I'm an online marketing consultant and virtual assistant, and I specialize again with online marketing. I work with business coaches, mentors, health and wellness professionals, personal and virtual assistants, life coaches, small business owners, teachers, therapists, authors, and speakers. So again, thank you for taking time out to watch this, and yeah, without further ado, I will get started. So, before I get into tip number one, just wanted to say it's a well-known fact that some methods work better for certain people other than work better for certain people than others. And here are your different ideas on how to monetize your webinar. So just to help you, and also so you don't miss out on any of those methods. Now, working in the line of, I guess in what I do, it's been handy for me because I've been able to watch different webinars, also, help manage and organize different webinars. So it's just kind of like a roundabout, from things that I've picked up. I just felt it'd be nice just to share to people, especially if you're considering starting a webinar series yourself and you've never done it before, or maybe you've done webinars before and you've had a fair amount of success, but you want some new ideas to generate more leads, either more ways to monetize your webinar. So this could be helpful for if you fall into either one of those two brackets. So the first tip is to charge for the recording. Now, if you know your webinar content is going to be helpful, dynamic, and powerful, then you shouldn't be hesitant to charge a fee for the recording, even if your webinar was for free. So, if you want to avoid antagonizing people when you monetize your recording, make a big thing of allowing access to the recording for free for 24 hours only after the webinar. But clearly let them know that that after the grace period, they will have to purchase online access or purchase the MP3. The psychology behind the free grace period method: most people are so busy they will not access the recording during the 24 hours of the grace period, but they will not feel forced to buy the recording as if they might if you charge for it straight away, because they know that it was their choice not to listen to the recording within those 24 free hours. Okay, so if they really want the recording, they will quite happily pay for it, particularly if you sweeten the deal with a bonus transcript, a worksheet, a tip sheet, or a highly relevant short report to go with the recording. Just remember, if your content is dynamic, unique, and helpful enough, you won't have to use free strategies at all. People will scramble to click the buy button, but your webinar had better be on something valuable that no one else in your niche has touched. Okay? So, tip number 2. Okay, let me just scroll up there. Right, so make your bonus short report extra appealing. So just to follow on from the first tip, if you want to sell the recording and you want to add a bonus report, so this would actually help you to monetize your recording a lot better. If you add a bonus short report to your webinar that is free with the paid recording, increase its value by making sure it covers one highly effective area aligned with the webinar's general topic that you deliberately didn't touch during the webinar. If people want the extra, information badly, they will quite happily pay for it. So it just makes that recording slightly more juicy. So again, it's a good strategy, so try that one out. Tip 3. Offer a discount for webinar attendees. So again, if you are going into doing webinars and you've got high-end ticket products or packages, again, this could be something that helps you. So if you are promoting a product during the webinar, especially if it's a high-end product, don't just sell it at full price. Make sure that there is an attractive discount on the product. And make sure this discount is exclusive to webinar attendees. This strategy can work whether or not the product is yours or belongs to someone you are affiliated with or a joint venture partner. So, tip number 4. Time limit your paid webinar offers, discounts and bonuses. Don't just create a discount code, set a limit on how long your special price will stay in effect. People become more anxious to buy when they know a great deal is only available for a short time. They will automatically value the offer more. Okay, so tip 5. Time your special offer period carefully. Now, for me, this is a very, very key one. There might be something that you haven't really thought of, but again, this does relate to your target market. So it's not enough just to create a time limited discount or special offer. Tailor the duration of the offer to your audience's budget. Okay, so if you so as a general guideline, if you commonly sell to people with stressed budgets, obviously be generous. Let that time limit basically go on for a few more days longer. So it gives them an opportunity to free up some cash to be able to take up the chance of working with you. And obviously, if you are selling to people that basically have more in disposable income, then you can make it a lot shorter, that time limit. But the most important thing is that if you know your niche market well, and let's say for example your niche market are basically people who get paid monthly or so, you've got to bear in mind people who get paid on monthly will get paid at a certain time in the month. So if in the past you've done webinars and they are at the end of the month, does it fit into when your target market are most likely to be paid? Because if your target market are due to be paid at the beginning of the month and you're having webinar series at the end of the month, it makes it harder for them to purchase from you. Okay, so you've got to bear that in mind. Ask questions to your existing clients. And if they really come back and they say, yeah, people within our field, we get paid on the 7th of each month, then you need to be having your webinar closest or just after the 7th. So they're more likely to buy your products, which inevitably is going to help them in the problem. I guess it will help them in the problem that you're trying to solve or you can solve for them. So bear in mind that you set a date for your webinar. Make sure it's a date where it's going to be close to when they get paid. Okay, so tip number 6. Okay, so throw in a high value unannounced bonus. So do you have another high-end product or just another product in general? Throw that in as an unannounced bonus if you are promoting a product during the recording. It should be something of equal value to the paid product, and you have the additional option of limiting it to the first X amount of callers, thus adding a pinch of exclusivity to the deal to get the ball rolling. So this is effective if you are being generous and giving people a longer period to raise funds or to think about it before your discount offer ends. The exclusive high value number of sales limited announced bonus means people will be anxious to buy, so they can be one of the first X amount of callers. It's also a great way to sweeten the deal if your webinar is promoting a high ticket item. So tip number 7, get other people to give a bonus or a discount. What's that? What's that you say, Paul? Okay, so let's say, for example, if you're closer to starting out yourself, or maybe you are doing a webinar series for the first time, you may not have a high ticket item to throw in as a bonus. So this is also true if you're joint venturing with a partner of a you're joint venturing with a product creator as his or as his or her affiliate. If you do the promotion, let the person who, or let someone else be the person who throws in the extra bonus or the extra discount on whatever product it is. So it just gives a bit more weight to the existing product that you're trying to sell. So if I'm selling, a package for hair, then you will get a bonus of, a free massage with xyandz.com. And again, it's kind of like, it just gives a bit more weight to what you're trying to sell. It makes it more appealing. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Tip number 8. Ask successful niche peers to donate bonus items. Now, again, another strategy if you are in a networking group. Like because I know I have a few clients that are in particular networking groups in and around London and further afield. Why not ask them to donate a bonus or donate something, some kind of discount to whatever they're doing? So it could actually be again more appealing to your webinar attendees. So if you have some really good connections with successful people in your niche, ask them to donate something to your webinar. And the thing is, many will agree because without any work at all, they can also capture opt-ins, capture leads, build their list when your attendees claim the bonus. So you'd have to be smart a bit. Make sure it's something that is kind of can sit well with your packages, but obviously not too well, if that makes sense. So you don't want it to be a direct rival. So if you're a personal trainer, you don't want to have a bonus or from another personal trainer, but maybe a service that complements what you do. So that's a really good tip. A tip to do. And the good thing is, if they give you something, all you have to do is show them how your webinar will benefit their business, and benefit their business and increase their list. And if you do that really well, the person who gives you something for your webinar will tend to always promote your webinar too. So again, it's extra promotion, extra PR to your for your webinar. And if they have a big list too, they're only going to say to them, listen guys, you come over to X, Y, and Z's webinar, it's really good, and there's a special bonus for you. So come along and attend and listen up. So again, a really good strategy there. Okay, so tip number 9, stay on the line. Right, now, what I found is that when people have webinars, what tends to happen is that, you kind of, I would imagine it kind of depends on the webinar provider, but if you can stay that extra bit longer to answer any questions, please try to do so. Why? The thing is, right, you're always going to have people, when it gets to the end of the webinar, you're going to have people that are going to leave anyway, because, they need to get back to their lives. Maybe they've taken an hour out of their day, or they need to put the kids to bed, or they need to go out or anything else. But there are always people that are going to have questions. So where possible, try to stay and answer every last question, or at least try to answer some of the important ones, because the longer you stay on the line, the more people will buy during this period. Also, let's just think about this. People are hearing you for the first time, okay? So you're always going to have people, they're going to know exactly that you are right for them, but you're going to have people who are slightly skeptical, or people who just don't know you enough yet, or maybe just don't trust you enough. So the more you can answer these critical questions that people may have, because it's probably, you'll find any good questions you get for a webinar is probably on a lot of people's minds. It could actually go in your benefit and help to get them over the line, because they will end up trusting you, and because you've answered the question in a very good way, they will build up trust in you and feel like, this person, they know what they're talking about, I've liked everything I've heard so far. They've answered my question. You know what? I think I'm going to try this out, and it can just bring them closer to you. So that would be a very good strategy to implement into your next webinar. So tip number 10 and final tip for this week of the two-part series. If there are, offer the first webinar for free, then offer the rest in your series as a package. So you can play around with this too and see what works best. But adding the option to pay a higher price per single webinar and offering a deeply discounted deal if people buy the whole package up front. So if you've had in the past where you tend to get loads of people onto your webinar, but maybe you don't, convert very well. Why? But you've got no problem in attracting people to the webinar, and it's good content that is going to help people in whatever their situation is. Offer to basically have a series of 4, and then offer as like a fee or anything like that, so they can subscribe to the rest of the webinar series. This will give you an opportunity for them to get closer, to trust you more, to really engage in you a lot more, and then you'll find by the full series it's a lot easier to sell a higher ticket product or package by the end of the webinar series, rather than just trying to do it all in one series. You don't get much success for it and then literally giving up. So build up your following online, sell an online series of webinars, and then you can take them, upsell to them at the end. So that was tip 10 of the first part. So we've gone from 1 to 10. I really hope that was there were some useful tips too. Look out for next week's second part, where there'll be some even bigger ones there for you. So like I said, if you're new to webinars, or you've done some in the past, you may find some of these tips really helpful. Again, if you're an old hand, there might be something in here that you haven't done before. So yeah, again, any questions, feel free to go over to www.handsfree.com. Drop me a line. My email is paulm@handsfree.com. So get in contact with me there. And I look forward to doing the next one for next week. So speak to you soon. Bye.